Welcome back to AHA TV. I'm Allison Godlove. Joining me now for our final recap this week is Dr. Joanna Chikwe and Dr. Amit Khera. Welcome back. Good to see you both the last day.
It's the last day. What an amazing 3 days. Boy, it feels like it was just yesterday we got here, and so many exciting things have happened. You know, I just wanted to start where we began, the history, and thinking about the centennial and all the history, the way we started this meeting. And then as we've gone through a lot of the future, health technology, AI, we've had amazing late breakers that we know are going to change practice, from prevention to electrophysiology, heart failure. So, you know, we've really seen a ton in the spectrum of science here. Today, even on the last day, we have amazing late breakers, and I think we're going to probably cover a few. So let me start. You know, heart failure, it always is a big one here, and understandably given the impact, but there's one kind of unique one I thought we'd talk about, the FAHA trial earlier today, where, you know, we're looking at patients that undergo chemotherapy, anthracyclines, which are very common, breast cancer and other treatments. The problem is that affects the heart, and we really don't have good preventative treatments for that. So a really interesting study where they took patients with anthracyclines and elevated troponin, so some heart damage, and then half got sacubitril valsartan, half got placebo, and ultimately they showed there was less decline in global longitudinal strain. So I love it as a preventive cardiologist, preventing abnormalities from developing in patients, you know, these vulnerable patients with cancer and heart disease. So pretty cool study. I thought that was important. What did you like today?
Well, I got drawn into the lipid room, which is an unusual place to be for a surgeon. The thing that sort of drew me in was the interaction between lipids, cardiovascular disease, and calcification of heart valves. And that room, this is the last day of sessions, right? That room is packed. There's like 2,000-3,000 people in there, all with their phones out for phase 2 studies looking at reductions in lipoprotein A. And I think this is really important. We're going to be seeing some huge trials coming out. They're enrolling 7,000-8,000 patients, right? Hopefully completing early next year, which I really hope are at sessions next year. But here we're hearing the phase 2 results already, and staggering reductions in lipoprotein A levels, and that's really important. It's something that impacts maybe about 20% of the population, accelerated cardiovascular disease and aortic stenosis. And these drugs maybe, let's see what these large trials show us, really the sort of next advance in kind of combating cardiovascular disease and maybe calcific valve disease.
So it was definitely interesting for so many. That's probably why the room was so full.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then how about you? One more final one?
I think one final one, you know, back to prevention, but now related to AFib. So we have a lipid trial, and we're talking about aortic stenosis. I'm going to talk about AFib and lifestyle. There was a big study today, randomized trial, where they looked at individuals who had atrial fibrillation, underwent an ablation. Half got intensive lifestyle and also intensive risk factor modification versus usual care, and there was a 20% reduction, absolute reduction, in recurrence rate of AFib. So just goes to show you that it's, as we learn in these sessions, why we call it multidisciplinary, there's the procedural part, but then when you bring in the prevention part, you sort of get the best outcomes for the patient. So I thought, what a neat study, sort of bring it all together as part of sessions. But, well, I know we are wrapping up here, and to your point, what an amazing thing that we still have a full room and a full hall on the last day, but next year, Joe, you take over. So what are you excited about?
I'm just excited to build on this amazing platform of a meeting that you and the amazing AHA team have built. There's so much that we want to do more of. I think really attracting these huge trials that really inform practice, kind of change the game, is the core of this meeting. Really ensuring that there's late-breaking basic science as well, because the basic science is what drives this ultimately. And then just making sure that this is a fantastic, the best forum for people to come from all around the world to interact, exchange ideas, make connections that really make it feel that it was absolutely worth it spending 6 hours on a flight, 3 days in a hotel room, and an awful lot of cold food at stands.
And it'll be here before we know it.
That's right.
And we're going to get ready for it starting probably tomorrow, right? Everyone's going to start thinking about it, getting excited.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Thank you both so much for joining us for these recaps. It's been really wonderful to hear what you have thought and what has made you excited. So thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us as well, and we look forward to seeing you next year in New Orleans. AHA TV is supported by Novo Nordisk.